Your car guy here. Today we're working on the 2008 Toyota Avalon. Some of you may recognize this as my mother-in-law's car. But what we've got going on is that the windshield washer bottle is leaking badly enough that it won't hold any fluid. So I've got a new bottle. We're going to go ahead and put it in. And you'll see I've got the car lifted on the passenger side. I do have a jack stand under there to secure it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off this lower front cover, which we'll get down here and take a look at. You can see this plastic tray will give us access as the washer bottle is right up inside there. So we'll see we've got a series of 10mm bolts that run the perimeter, and it looks like some zip ties that somebody has used at the back to get this tray down and out of our way. So we'll go ahead and undo those and drop this tray down. All right, with the tray removed, I'm going to show you we've got one 10mm nut that sits right back down in that corner there. It's difficult to get a focus on it. You can see it as that shiny part just beyond the hose right there. You can access from the top. There are also two 10mm bolts that if we look at from underneath here, we'll have one right straight up there and another one right back there. We'll also have our level sensor and our pump that'll need to be disconnected. Once you have your bolts loose, you can move the tank out enough to see and get access to unplug the pump, which is just going to be a little tab right there, and unplug that, unplug the level sensor, and disconnect the feed line to the washers. And then we can just pull all this out and we can wiggle the entire tank down out of the way. You will need to unplug this clip right there, which has just some tabs on either side that you can squeeze with a pair of pliers and shove that clip out, which is holding the wiring harness. With the tank out, we will need to take and pry out this sensor and the pump so we can install them into the new tank. These are in just a rubber grommet. So the pump, you'll get underneath it, you'll pry up. Same thing with the sensor. You can use a screwdriver and pry, and make sure not to break these because they are plastic. Our new tank is very similar. You will notice a few differences, like that it doesn't have this location tab. Not a big deal. We're just going to make sure our pump's straight up. And this doesn't have the cutout here for the sensor to make sure that you always face the tab down. But if you see this tab that's sticking off the bottom, that needs to face down for the float on this sensor to work properly. Our pump and sensor we've got installed. Now we're just going to stick this up into place and bolt it in. We'll notice the top has a two-piece fill neck. We can actually put the top of the fill neck in once this is in. All right, I've got the new tank mounted. I've connected my wiring and my hoses. And one thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to add a zip tie where the connection goes right here around this hose and make it act as a small hose clamp, just to give a little bit of extra protection from that possibly blowing off. But everything's hooked up. We'll put the neck in and then we'll reinstall this bottom tray. When you go to install the neck, you'll see that there is a tab there that's going to line up with a slot right here. So you'll insert it down in and then you'll rotate it to lock it in place. And that's it. Now for the quick test. Yep, we have working washers. Good stuff. Now we'll have a happy mother-in-law. This is your car guy. Please subscribe to the channel and like and share our videos.